All rise. All right, I've been advised that the jury's reached a verdict. The record will reflect the jury's not in the courtroom at this time. State's counsel is present as well as defense counsel and the defendant. Let's bring the jury in. All right, you can be seated in the courtroom. All right, the record will reflect the jury's returned to the courtroom at this time. Ms. Stafford, you're the foreperson of the jury.
Yes, Your Honor.
I've been advised that the jury has reached a verdict in this matter. Is this correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you'll hand that verdict form to the bailiff, please, ma'am. Mr. Routh, if you'll please stand. All right, we, the jury, find the defendant Eddie Ray Routh guilty of the felony offense of capital murder as charged in the indictment. That verdict is signed by Ms. Stafford as foreperson of the jury. You may be seated at this time. You wish to have the jury polled?
Yes, Judge.
All right, the request to have the jury polled has been made at this time. What I will do at this point is individually we'll start at the first juror, and I will ask you the same question of each and every juror. Is this a unanimous verdict of the jury? You have to answer out loud.
Yes.
Juror number 2, is this a unanimous verdict? Juror number 3, is this a unanimous verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 4?
Yes, sir.
Juror number 5?
Yes, sir.
Juror number 6?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 7?
Yes, sir.
Juror number 8?
Yes.
Juror number 9?
Yes, sir.
Juror number 10?
Yes.
Juror number 11?
Yes, sir.
And juror number 12?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, this completes your service as jurors in this matter, and I will receive and accept your verdict in this matter. I will hand it to the clerk to have it filed with the papers of the court at this time. All right, Mr. Routh, if you'll please stand again. Having received and accepted the jury's verdict in this matter, by statute, I will now impose sentence in this matter at confinement for life in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice without the possibility of parole. That's the verdict of this court, and I will enter judgment accordingly. You may be seated at this time again. I will continue, Mr. St. John, as your attorney in this matter with regard to your rights to appeal, and that includes a direct appeal to the Eastland Court of Appeals. That's the home of the 11th Court of Appeals, which is the court for this jurisdiction, and also your rights with regard to filing a petition for discretionary review with the Court of Criminal Appeals in Texas. I will remand your custody to the Sheriff of Routh County to carry out the imposition of the judgment of this court and the jury's verdict in this matter. Do you have any legal reason to state at this time why sentence should not be imposed?
I would submit the court is legally insane, therefore cannot receive the verdict, otherwise no, Judge.
Finding nothing in bar thereof, I will now enter judgment and remand your custody to the Sheriff of Routh County to carry out the imposition of this sentence and judgment of this court in accordance with the rules and regulations of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. Now then, turning back to my jury. Certainly appreciate your effort in this matter. I have constantly talked to you about the rules and what you can and can't do. From this point forward, I have no other control over you. I'm discharging you from those rules and obligations. I want to talk to you briefly about that. You're free to discuss this case with anyone at this point, or to not discuss the case. That's certainly up to you. I want to issue a statement to you, and that is that the lawyers in this matter are professionals, and they're not going to bother you about your verdict. I can assure you of that. Should anybody else attempt to bother you about your verdict, you make it known immediately to any one of these officers of these court, the bailiff or anybody in here. We'll get it stopped quick, fast, and in a hurry. I have been asked by the media, as you understand this has been a high-profile matter, that they want to talk to you about your service as a juror. That's a decision that's wholly up to you at this point. I will issue a word of caution in this regard. You can talk to me if you want to, and you don't have to. Remember that what you say will be looked at from time immemorial. I mean, once it's out there and it's recorded, there's no takebacks. So be careful, be judicious about what you're going to say if you decide to make those interviews. I have the transport available to take you back home. This is done. There is a procedure that's going to be done here in a few moments. You're free to stay for that. If you don't want to stay, we'll let you go out the back door, and when we get completely done, we'll load the vans up and take you back to your vehicles. At this point in time, I also tell you, very serious matter. Appreciate your hard work. The compensation that you will receive for this is certainly not anywhere worth the time and effort and emotion that you've invested in it. That's all we can do. With that, I want to turn, pursuant to Article 4203 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, I have been advised that there is a desire to present victim impact statement to this court, to the defendant. Per statute, the court shall permit a victim or a close relative of a deceased victim to appear in person